you guys don't know, and we'll talk about this. One, I thank you for the 100. I was just on JF's stream, and we went over my medical records. So if Mr. Repzion's watching, or he happens to see this, Repzion, you owe me a big apology video, as well as to take down what you have on there about me, because we've debunked it.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay. Repzion's going to be in hiding. He's not quite hiding, and no disrespect. I think it was Rose Jessica who said that, right? Yeah, it was Rose. Okay. So it's no disrespect to what you're saying. He keeps making these little snide comments, but he won't direct anything at me. It was really interesting to hearing JF say that Repzion's been threatening him. Yeah, no, Repzion has been threatening JF. We're going to get to that. But that's what these little pussies do. That's the kind of stuff that they do. And we'll get into that here in a minute. I just want to let people filter in. Repzion is passive-aggressive. I think he was being like that with Andy about the killer. Well, of course he is. He's incredibly passive-aggressive. That's what makes him beta, or act beta, I guess. That's what he does. Just incredible passive-aggressiveness. See, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with, the basic bitch women who act that way. And I especially can't deal with men like Nick Monroe and men like Repzion who act that way. I can't fucking do it. Repzion's an insecure idiot. Well, I think he's insecure. And he doesn't make really sound intellectual decisions. He does things that make him look insecure. You know Repzion's video where he talks about, oh, she doesn't have copper toxicity. She doesn't have the ring around her eyes. Motherfucker, that's Wilson's disease. That's a genetic mutation where you have a hard time dealing with copper in your body. That's not copper toxicity. He got almost every detail wrong. Everything wrong. If you didn't watch JF Garapi's stream, we went over my medical records. We spent, oh God, maybe 20, 30 minutes ahead of time. We went over my medical records in detail. So I showed him even where I had the tumor, the abscess. You know, some people called it different names. I showed him everything. So we went on there, and he was armed with everything and just took the proper screenshots so he wouldn't dox me. But I signed into my medical porters and sent everything that, that I needed to. And so we went over it. So to Mr. Repzion, if you're watching, you have a big fucking apology video to do. And I think you should explain why you even went after me in the first place, and I never did shit to you. Or the people around you. What did I done to you? Because by the time your video came out, the only claim that hadn't been debunked that you wanted, if you remember those 3 claims, was you wanted to see my medical paperwork. But you never came and asked for it privately, and you didn't even give me a way to contact you. I just recently contacted him through email. I divide his email addresses, and we've been emailing back and forth. Little shit keeps still saying, I want to see your medical records. And I'm like, I want to see your blood work. And I'm like, why would I trust you with this? Why would I trust you with this information after what you've already done to my life? He doesn't get it. He said stuff and in a Google Hangout here soon, I'll do a Hangout and we'll go over everything. In the emails we're sharing back and forth, he says stuff like, he'll say, I've already invested too much emotional energy into this, and I don't want to do it any further. And I'm thinking, bitch, we weren't in a relationship. We weren't in a relationship. What are you investing all this energy for? Why are you and he said it in a few places. I'm done investing emotional energy into you. Well, great. I never asked you to. All I've asked you to do is correct what you've said. How hard is that? Guys, remember the video where I made fun of Copper Cab because I thought he was a troll? I made fun of his stutter. I found out he actually does have a stutter, and I bent over backwards to apologize. Made apology videos. I promoted him. I did everything I could to make sure and rectify what I had done. Right? What's so hard about that? What is it? And I think it all boils down to ego. Absolute ego. And now Repzion is making light, thinly veiled threats to JF. He's leaving comments on people's videos. And this is there's a guy who has less than 500 subs. So Repzion's really fucking reaching for this. Less than 500 subs. Repzion goes on and writes this comment. It was something like, I hate this motherfucker. And then he said in the same sentence, he's not going to like what's about to happen to him. The fuck does that mean? First of all, Repzion, you're all of what? 5'4"? No disrespect to short guys. I've dated short guys. I love all fucking men. I'm 5'2". So to me, it's short and short. But I'm sitting there going, you are a spry, thin little man who just talks shit with a very high voice. You're a Nick Monroe type. You're the type that Mundane Matt hangs out with. The fuck are you going to do to anybody? What, you going to get Kraut's former server buddies and go after him like you, based mama Nick Monroe, did to me? Because it's real interesting. They started attacking JF right the day after he defended me. And as I said before, JF is the one that dismantled the Kraut server. I'm not saying they go together. I'm saying it's real fucking odd looking. Really fucking odd looking. And it's funny, because what the fuck did I do to anybody to pose such a threat? What did I do? So, that's what's been going on. I am going to be doing, I've been wanting to do it every day, and I just can't. I just don't have the energy. I'm not feeling great. But hopefully this week, if you guys want on Spurpinkelbo, I'm going to be doing a live stream, and we're going to debunk all of Repzion stuff. It's going to be easy, too. Like, I remember when I first saw it, the first fucking thing he said, we look at this website Joy wrote an article on, I'm like, out the gate. I looked at that, and I'm like, out the gate. Your first statement before you finished your sentence is wrong. So it's going to be a long one. This is probably going to at least last, I would think, at least a 3-hour one for me to debunk everything, because there's so much he got wrong, because he did no research. My assumption from seeing everything is that he probably had an interview with, like, Philip Schlicker, you know, Phildo the Wizard, figured out Phil's kind of a fucking creep and scrapped it last second, along with interviews with former friends that didn't go well or they didn't show up. So he had to scramble to make it last second. Did about this much. That much research. So yeah. Urban, nobody deserves what you're going through. What they are doing is absolutely wrong. Thank you, and I agree. I also feel that everyone who calls you crazy are using that as an excuse. They're not engaging somebody like they would if they legit think they're crazy. Right. And here's the thing. Mr. Repzion says he thinks I have anxiety, and he thinks that I'm mentally ill. And at the time of the video, none of that was true. Now, over the last month or so, I have been diagnosed with situational depression and anxiety from what's going on. So why would you continue to be an asshole to somebody who you now know has been diagnosed with depression and anxiety partially because of the shit you did to her? Why? And he's still putting out misinformation. Like, he made a tweet recently, this coming from the woman that believes CBD oil can get you high. How many times do I have to re-clarify that? No, I'm not saying CBD oil gets you high like marijuana. And I clarified it several times. I said that if I haven't taken it for a while, and depending on what kind I take and how strong it is, it can make me feel weird the first time I take it. A little spacey, a little out there. But it doesn't last more than 10 minutes, and it's only after the first time it's gone. It doesn't happen. And there even is warnings on some of the bottles. It says people might experience this if they're sensitive because it has trace amounts of THC. They can have very trace amounts. And to some people, they're sensitive to it. It's not enough to make me trip or go high or go crazy. It's just enough to make me feel weird. That's it. What am I referring to? Just this rumor that I've said that CBD oil makes you high. And I think at one point I kind of said it as a half joke and then further clarified and explained what I've just said to you guys. And I've had people like Repzion go, this coming from the girl that thinks it makes you high. No, I don't think it makes you high, you fucking retard. But some people are more sensitive. Period. And when I say retard, I don't mean you're actually, because people are going to take it out of context. I don't think he's actually retarded. I just mean it's just a complete insult. I'm insulting your intelligence for your slandering me again. JF Garapi, that's who that is, Michelle. JF Garapi is the one that has debunked the claims against me from Nick Monroe, who has now taken out his articles and apologized after we drug his ass, and Repzion, who is in hiding and making snide little comments and threats to people, like JF. He's not gonna like what's coming to him. Fuck you. The fuck is wrong with these people? He created a nerd war between us for no fucking reason. No reason, and don't want to rectify it.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and follow us on Twitter to keep up to date on your favorite streamers. Blarg you later.